Welcome back, and switching gears now to the Israel-Hamas war. There are reports of barrages of rockets coming from Lebanese territory being fired at Israel. The rockets are reportedly falling in open areas in the Golan Heights. It comes as Hezbollah, the Lebanese terrorist group, said it has targeted the Israel Defense Forces al-Malikiya site and achieved direct hits. Israeli media have reported air raid sirens sounding in northern Israel, indicating the possible presence of rocket fire from Lebanon. It also comes as a military commander of the Lebanese armed group was killed in an Israeli raid on the Hosh area in Tyre in southern Lebanon. On its official Telegram channel, the group said Commander Muhammad Nima Nasser, also known as Hajj Abu Nima, had been killed. It also said it was born in 1965 and was from the town of Hadada in southern Lebanon. Now, as usual, Hezbollah made no mention of where and when Nasser was killed. In the meantime, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant says Israeli forces will be ready to take any action necessary against Lebanon's Hezbollah, although the preference is to reach a negotiated arrangement. He said in a statement issued by his office that IDF forces were striking Hezbollah very hard every day. We prefer an arrangement, he says, but if reality forces us, we will know how to fight. One of two people stabbed in an attack at a shopping center in northern Israel has been pronounced dead. Israeli media names the accused attacker as Jude Rabia from Nahaf, an Israeli town where many Palestinian citizens of Israeli descent live. There were no claims of responsibility from any group, although the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, in a post on the Telegram site, described the attack as a heroic operation. Israeli medical services reported earlier that they were treating two people in their 20s who had been seriously wounded at the shopping mall in the Carmel area. Police say the attacker was killed on the spot. Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Forces Chief of Staff, Herzi Halevi, claims his troops have eliminated over 900 terrorists, including senior Hamas leaders in Rafah. He said this while inspecting a military logistics post in Kerem Shalom on Tuesday. The number includes many commanders and at least one battalion commander, adding that before the ground offensive, Rafah was among the few places where civilians sought refuge from the extensive Israeli bombardments throughout the Palestinian enclave. He spoke of another phase when the army bring new tactics. Fighting between Israel and Hamas continues for the 7th month in Gaza after Hamas launched an unprecedented attack on southern Israel on October 7. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has denounced a recent New York Times report during a recorded speech from Jerusalem on Tuesday. The report cites anonymous sources that claim Israel would end its war in Gaza before achieving all of its goals. Netanyahu said via video message he did not know who the unnamed parties are, but that he was making clear that it will not happen and that the war would end only after Israel achieves all of her goals. The report quoted 9 current and former Israeli military officials as saying that a truce would be the best way to free the hostages, as well as replenish depleted weapons stocks and strengthen troops amid escalating tensions with Hezbollah in the north. The New York Times has not responded to Netanyahu's criticism of its report at the time of publication. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department spokesperson Vedant Patel has addressed several international issues during a press conference in Washington, D.C. He highlighted the significant security relationship between the U.S. and Israel, stating that Israel faces real legitimate threats in the Middle East and emphasizing that the security partnership extends beyond just the West Bank and Gaza. Patel also responded to comments made by Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban during a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. He reiterated that both Washington and NATO have consistently stated that the resolution to the conflict between Kyiv and Moscow requires Russia to withdraw its troops from Ukraine.
I don't want to get into a back and forth on the specific provision of arms because that's a level of technical detail that we're just not in a place to get to. What I can say and reiterate again is that our security relationship with Israel is robust. It is far greater than just the West Bank and Gaza, that there are real, legitimate threats that Israel faces in the region. What I can say is that Germany is one of our closest partners in a number of areas, not just when it comes to the Middle East, but also Ukraine as well. And I have no doubt that they are eager to play a positive and contributive role in addressing this conflict and not just finding a peaceful resolution to the conflict in Gaza, but also ensuring that there is calm along the blue line as well.